Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Olivet City Council meeting of October 8th, 2024. It is 7:02 p.m. The meeting starts. Madam Clerk, please call roll.
Mayor Waldman,
I am here.
Chairman Pro Tem Knox is absent with an excuse. Councilmember Clark,
Here.
Councilmember Carl,
Here.
Councilmember Weil,
Here.
Thank you very much. Item number 2, the communications. Madam Clerk, did you receive any communications, ma'am?
we have no written communications.
All right, we will move forward with item number 3, which is the city manager's report. Ms. Shackley, good evening, and how are you? And what do you got to tell us today?
All right, good evening. Welcome, everybody. All right. As it is the first meeting of the month, we will start with Olive Crossing and updates for Olive Crossing. The hotel has officially been open for 1 year. As you can see, we had the grand opening October 4th, so just slightly over a year. They are at least 89% leased. They sent me their statistics last week, but I did speak to Mr. Yowitz late last week, and he was expecting to be potentially 90% leased. So they have good lease rates, and then 83% occupied. So they are doing well for being only open for a year. And then on to lot 3, which is the multi-tenant retail building. So this is the building that Paris Baguette will be located in. They continue to work through edits to a lease for the restaurant/bar tenant. And then they are still working with 2 other tenants, both of which have letters of interest. And then the last we were talking about was financing for this particular building. And last month we talked about that they needed to get appraisals. Those appraisals are complete, and the developer is on track to receive their financing in December, which means that they can really get going, weather permitting, in January. So hopefully by summer, we'll not only have a building, but potentially at least Paris Baguette in, and then a couple other tenants in as well. So that is good news that that seems to be moving forward. Lots 1 and 2. This is the Aldi building. If you've not driven by, I encourage you to do so. They are building like crazy. The roof is on, the sides of the building are up, the walls are up, so they're moving right along. I think probably they are desiring to get it all enclosed before winter comes, so then they can do all the interior work when it's bad weather outside. So they're continuing to target an early 2025 opening. Lot 5 is the proposed office building. They don't have an update for that. And then lot 6 is the hotel. If you recall, last month they were going to meet with their hotel partner operator in mid-September. They did have that meeting. They have told us that that meeting went well. And so they are going to proceed toward financing for the construction of the hotel and work toward detailed design and operating agreements so that they can come before the city and before PCDC. They did not give a timeline for that, but these are the things that need to be done before they can submit. So any questions about that? Okay. So general upcoming events, tomorrow morning is Coffee with the Mayor at 5 Oaks. Our own horticulturalist, Brian Azcona, is going to talk about habitat restoration throughout Olivet. Some people may know him. He spearheads the Weed Warrior programs throughout the city, as well as doing various habitat restoration throughout the city's parks. So please join us tomorrow morning for that. And then we have a variety of things happening over about the next week or so. October 19th and 20th is the Olivet Citywide Yard Sale from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on those days. Please register with Olivet Parks and Rec if you'd like to be included on the map. And then once you have had your yard sale, come to the Great Olivet Cleanout, which is the shredding and electronic recycling event. This is at Stacy Park on Monday, October 21st from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So please bring your paper to be shredded and electronic recycling. And then that weekend, Saturday, October 26th, is Drug Take Back Day. So the police department will be out front of Olivet City Center to take back any prescription or over-the-counter medicine that you may have. Will you also take veterinary medicine? Yes, they will also take veterinary medicine if you happen to have any of that stuff at home. And then if you also have any medical equipment, walkers, crutches, wheelchairs that you are not using, St. Louis Help will also be here with a truck to take any of that equipment as a donation. And St. Louis Help is a business in Olivet, and they loan out medical equipment to people and families who need those things. So that's from 10 to 2 on October 26th. And then later that evening, because we haven't done enough in all of that, is the Harvest Festival. And this year it's at Five Oaks on Warson, so up at Warson Park from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hay rides, photo booths, arts and crafts, games, costume contest, petting zoo, free family-friendly event. So please join us at Five Oaks for the Harvest Festival. And then everybody's favorite activity is the leaf collection. So that will be starting in November. Please check out the city's website for detailed information as to when your neighborhood will see the leaf collection trucks. And then the city asks that you not put your leaves in the street. Please leave them in your yard. Please don't pile them into the street. The trucks will collect them from your yard. Please also don't block the sidewalk. So leave them in your yard. They will get them. And this is a weather dependent event. So if they're supposed to be in your neighborhood on a Wednesday and it rains on Tuesday, they may be there on Thursday. So leave the leaves there. They will come around and they will get them. And then just as a reminder, we have the 11th annual Turkey Trot, November 28th, Thanksgiving morning at 8 a.m. in Stacy Park. And the last I looked, we are more than 350 registrants. So please register. It's available. You can scan the QR code on the screen or the city's website to register and join us for Turkey Trot that morning. And then as usual, to stay up to date on all things happening in the city of Olivet, please subscribe to Olivet Weekly. And then here are your upcoming meetings. And please note Parks and Recreation is on Wednesday. It's a week earlier this month. Any questions?
Does anybody have any questions of the city manager? Mr. Carl, no, shake your head. Thank you, sir. All
Thank
right.
you.
Appreciate your report. Thank you very much for the good news. We will move on to item number 4, which is city council reports. I will turn to my left, which is other people's rights, and ask Councilmember Clark if he has anything to report, sir.
I have nothing to report at this time.
All right, Councilperson Weil. Mr. Councilmember Carl, anything to report?
I have, no, nothing to report.
All right. I do not have anything to report because the Planning Community Design Commission was postponed due to the Jewish holiday, and they will be meeting on the 17th of the month, and I will report at our next council meeting, whatever occurs. There is the Municipal League Executive Board meeting I'll be attending, and then at the end of the month, on the third Thursday, we have the Municipal League evening meetings, and I will give further information, and we will all get further information on the location to the city council. Next item is hearing from citizens. I don't know if there's anyone in the audience here at City Hall that would like to speak, and I don't see any attendees online. I have no cards in front of me. So with that, I will move on to the next item, which is Bill number 3034, item number 6. Madam Clerk.
Bill number 3034, an ordinance to approve a condominium final subdivision plat titled Olivet City Center Townhomes, Plat 1. Second reading.
All right, this is second reading. Are you going to take this, Mrs. Yackley?
Nope, Ms. Doty's here this evening.
Oh, all right, Ms. Doty, good evening.
Good evening. I should have walked up soon. If you have any questions, we do have the petitioner in the audience and he can answer.
So this is the second reading of a condominium plot that is the project that is being taken place, plot number 1 for the project across the street. If the council has no questions, I will entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Bill 3034, an ordinance to approve a condominium final subdivision plat titled Olivet City Center Townhomes, Plat 1.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Please poll the council.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes.
Councilmember Weil,
Yes.
Mayor Waldman.
Yes.
The motion is approved. Bill 3034 becomes ordinance 2804.
Thank you, council.
Thank you. We will move to item number 7, request to declare a vehicle as surplus.
Yes, so there is a police Dodge Charger that is no longer useful. And so we are asking to declare this particular vehicle as surplus and sell it via auction.
I'll entertain the recommended action.
I recommend that I'd like to make the motion to declare the vehicle as a surplus, a 2021 Dodge Charger surplus to be sold at auction.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Please poll the council.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes.
Councilmember Weil,
Yes.
Mayor Waldman.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
All right, thank you very much. We will move on to item number 8, the approval to purchase police body cameras and vehicle cameras. Madam Clerk.
Item 8, approval to purchase police body cameras and vehicle cameras.
Chief Andreski, good evening to you, ma'am.
Good evening, Council and Madam Mayor. So this agenda item is for full replacement of both our car cameras and body cameras, which have both exceeded their warranty lives. And we've looked into, done our due diligence and research of the different options that are out there. And came to the conclusion that replacing these on the same cycle and doing a full replacement would be the best option. The manufacturer that we just have decided that would be the best option to meet our needs financially and with the actual software and hardware is Axon Enterprise Inc. And they have a good product. And again, their pricing was competitive. They're also part of the Sourcewell Cooperative Buying Program. The dollar amount needed for full replacement for our body cameras and car cameras going through Axon is $134,294.30. And with discussion with the city manager and finance director, it is proposed that we would do an installation payment plan using $50,000 that was budgeted for in FY25, and then making those 4 remaining payments each year for $21,073.59. At the end of that 5-year period, the police department would own the hardware and have all of that storage and have the option, of course, to extend storage or move on to whatever is the latest and greatest at that time. In addition, we have also been approved for $18,000 in ARPA grant funding that would go, it's a reimbursement program. So part of that $50,000 would be reimbursed up to, well, a full $18,000 if purchased by the end of the year. So again, as you know, body cameras, car cameras have been become a crucial asset to law enforcement. And of course, with the transparency that it provides to the community and of course, as well as the investigative process. So my request would be that the city manager or approval from the council for the city manager to enter into an agreement with Axon Enterprises for the purchase of 7 car cameras, 22 body cameras, which will include hardware, software, training, installation, and taking out our old cameras. And for this project, not to exceed $135,000 with the initial FY25 payment of $50,000, of course, with that $18,000 ARPA grant reimbursement. And the attachments you will see is the total project costs, the 5-year installation payment plan, and an itemization list of what is included. And I will be happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you very much. Does any council member have the questions of the police chief?
I looked at the document ahead of time and it looked good to me.
No?
No, I looked at it ahead of time and it all made sense, so.
Okay, okay. I read it as well, and just for your own safety, our public safety officers, the camera, I kind of read a little bit about the camera, and it appears to be a better, than what has been provided in the past. Were you able to see what that looks like when it's on the body? Did they give you some examples of that look?
So several of our officers, deputy chief kind of spearheaded this project, and he's here too to answer some of those specifics, but they did do a demo, and it looks like it will, of course, work well for us. Our officers are used to wearing body cameras at this point. And as you know, technology every single year is advancing. So from when we got our original body cameras, the Panasonics that we have now, yes, there's definitely been upgrades.
I consider them more for your safety, yes. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
So, all right, with that, my fellow council members, I will entertain the recommended action.
Madam Mayor, make a motion that we approve that the city manager enter into agreement with Axion Enterprises, Inc. for the purchase of 7 car cameras and 22 body cameras, including software, training, maintenance, and storage, not to exceed $135,000 with initial FY25 payment of $50,000.
Second,
There's a motion and a second. Please poll the council.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes.
Councilmember Weil,
yes,
Mayor Waldman,
Yes.
motion is approved.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move to item number 9, which is a request for approval to switch reporting software from ESO to First Due software. Madam Clerk.
Item 9, request for approval to switch reporting software from ESO to First Due.
Good evening, Chief. How are you?
Good. How
All
are you?
right, you've got the floor, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council, Ms. Yackley, Steve Carmen, Fire Chief, City of Olivet Fire Department. The fire department currently utilizes ESO as a reporting software, but recently we've been having some issues, multiple issues with its performance. These include missing fire reports, difficulties entering pre-plans into the system, challenges with asset management platform, and subpar customer service. While some of these issues have been addressed, others remain unsolved, with ESO unable to provide satisfactory solutions. In response to this, Chief Fain and I have consulted with several other departments that have transitioned to the First Due platform. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Crews not only find First Due user-friendly, but they are also extremely satisfied with the customer service that the company provides. As our contract with ESO is set to expire in December, we would need to provide a 60-day notice to terminate the agreement and make the switch to First Due. The funding for this transition is already covered within our existing budget allocations for ESO, and the quoted cost for First Due is $7,100, which would make it feasible for a much-needed upgrade for the department. So we are requesting a motion to authorize the city manager to enter into agreement with First Due reporting software platform for the fire department and fees not to exceed the $7,100 for the first year. Any questions?
Does council have any questions? You have none. Councilmember Carl, any questions, sir?
Only a comment. I mean, we're talking about life safety information here that seems to even disappear, so it really concerns me. So yes, I support this, but beyond that, I have nothing.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Shackley, Chief, my only question at the last minute is comparable to the cost of the ESO. Now, the service is bad and I totally get that. Are we at similar levels for the cost?
Yes.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the costs are very, very similar.
Uh-huh.
First Due actually comes out just a tad bit higher,
Mhm.
but they prorated the first year to give us a break and then after that. But we're talking less than $1,000 difference between
Okay,
the two
yeah,
companies. For
Sure,
their
and better service is well worth that less than
Yes, ma'am.
$1,000 difference. All right, thank you, Chief, for that information. I'll call for the vote.
I'd like to make a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Call for the motion. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the city manager to enter into an agreement with First Due to provide reporting software platform for the fire department and fees not to exceed $7,100 for the first year.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Now, please poll the council.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes,
Councilmember Weil,
Yes.
Mayor Waldman,
Yes,
motion is approved.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right, item number 10, the request for approval to apply to the Missouri Bureau of EMS ARPA grants for portable radios and approval to purchase 2 Motorola's. Madam City Clerk.
Turned it off. Item 10, request for approval to apply to the Missouri Bureau of EMS ARPA grant for portable radios and approval to purchase 2 Motorola APX 8000 HXE.
All right, Chief, go right on ahead.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council, Ms. Yackley. My name's Steve Carmen, Fire Chief, City of Olivet Fire Department. In 2016, St. Louis County ECC purchased Motorola radios for the St. Louis County Police and Fire Departments with tax-funded revenues. At that time, departments were told that the radios needed to be replaced by the individual entities would be responsible for, I'm sorry, I read that wrong, for replacement costs when the radios go out of service. The Motorola radios have a service life of 8 to 10 years. And in December, we received notice from Motorola stating that they were no longer making parts for the radios and they have reached the end of their service life and will no longer maintenance the radios. The fire department applied for an ARPA grant in 2023. However, the grant was denied. Recently, we received notice at the Missouri Bureau of EMS that any department or district that provides EMS service can apply for an ARPA grant. This grant is a 90-10 match, up to a max of $100,000. Our radios meet the requirements that were set forth in the grant, and if approved, we will request 12 radios totaling a cost of $96,010.82. And the city's portion of that would be $9,601.08. It is a goal of the fire department to reduce the number of radios that we have in our fleet from 17 down to 15. We currently have 5 radios that are out of service and no longer function. We don't want to wait until the grant comes in March. We would like to replace 2 of those radios currently. And those radios would cost just under $17,000. And the award of the ARPA grant, we will not find out until March of 2025. So the fire department is requesting a motion to authorize the city manager to sign the application for the Missouri Bureau of EMS ARPA grant for the purchase of 12 Apex 8000 HXE Motorola radios and accessories. And also a motion to authorize the city manager to enter into an agreement with Motorola to purchase 2 APX 8000 HXE Motorola radios with an amount not to exceed $17,000.
And Chief Carmen, the purchase of 2 radios has already been put in the budget for this year.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thanks, Chief. Does anyone on the council have any questions or follow-up for the chief with regard to these 2 items?
So was the full amount put into the budget?
Just for the purchase of the radios.
The radios, okay.
Purchase of the radios. And then there are going to be some savings in other line items within the capital improvement budget that would be able to cover, should we get the grant, the city's 10%.
Oh,
So
Thank
Yes.
you,
they have every intention of staying within their budget.
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
We are doing that
Okay, now, not to exceed 17,000 for 2 radios,
for 2
not
radios.
17,000 each.
Yes.
Okay, just want.
No,
to-
not 17,000
Right.
each.
Yeah, I just want that on the record, let's
Yes, ma'am.
later on. All right, if there's no questions of the chief or of the city manager, I will gladly entertain the recommended action.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the city manager to sign the application for the Missouri Bureau of EMS ARPA grant for the purchase of 12 APX 8000 HXE Motorola radios and accessories. A motion to authorize the city manager to enter into an agreement with Motorola to purchase 2 APX 8000 HXE Motorola radios with the amount not to exceed $17,000.
Second,
Moved and seconded. If there's no questions, please poll the council.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes.
Councilmember Weil,
yes.
Mayor Waldman,
Yes,
motion is approved.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, chief. Thank you. Please continue to be safe in the endeavors that you do. All right, we were down to item number 11, which is the second round of hearing from citizens. I see no attendees in the Zoom meeting, and I see no attendees here in the city center chamber. With that, we will move on to item number 12, review and acceptance of the minutes. I did read the minutes. Did anyone else? I didn't see anything. Did anybody else see?
I did not.
Okay, so I will gladly take a motion to accept the minutes.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion to accept the city council minutes from September 24th, 2024. As written.
Motion moved and seconded to accept minutes as written. Please poll the council.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes.
Councilmember Weil,
Yes.
Mayor Waldman,
Yes,
motion is passed.
thank you very much. We will get on to item number 13. Good evening.
Good evening, and I have no report this evening.
Alrighty, our esteemed city attorney, Ms. Carr, has nothing for us. So with that, we will go to item number 14.
I just quickly have to say, we
Go
never
ahead.
knew what we weren't missing when Paul would always give us a report of something.
She's 3 for 3.
She's getting ready to. She's getting ready to. Yeah, so I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
And second.
So moved in second for adjournment. It is 7:30 PM on the nose. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Bye.